Welcome to the Talmadge Homestead. Today we'll be doing a chicken tractor autopsy. The overall dimensions of this tractor are 5 feet long, 51 inches wide, and 3 feet high. I didn't make it quite as long as a traditional chicken tractor of 8 feet because I primarily planned on using it on garden beds. And I was going to have a small amount of birds in there. And I wasn't really interested in having a large number of birds, so I didn't figure I really needed the space. For a future tractor, I'd probably not go quite as wide. I'd probably make it only about maybe 3 feet wide. That way it fits over the beds a little nicer. And I'd keep the same height. 3 feet is pretty good, especially if you've got to go in there and manually remove a bird from the chicken tractor itself. Probably stick with the 5 feet. Like I said, really not too overwhelmed with having one that's 8 feet long. I had hooks on the front of the chicken tractor itself, one hook on both sides, and I tied a rope to both of the hooks and used that to pull the tractor. I think in the future I would actually have wooden handles. That would work well, especially if the chicken tractor isn't quite as wide. The rope worked fine for pulling, but if you had to push it, your rope was really more or less worthless, or you'd need hooks on the other side. The back of the tractor itself had 2 lawnmower wheels. And when you lifted the front, it allowed the wheels in the back to help move you along. It really doesn't give you a lot of ground clearance, but it worked well enough. On both sides of the tractor, I actually had wings set up, so on a excessively hot day, I could put the side not facing the sun up and give extra air. I'll be honest with you, I like the idea of the feature. Didn't really actually use it much. And I think in the future, instead of having these wings that are kind of cumbersome, and they certainly haven't held up over the last 10 years, I'd probably just go with some tarp and have, similar to a greenhouse, have it so the sides can roll up and down. I do like the idea that, especially on the sunny side during a hot summer day, that you're able to put the sides down a little and give the birds some shade. In addition, on the back I just had fixed panels, and that worked well. Now the top of the tractor itself, which right now is covered in snow, I went with a flat roof. That's what I saw most of the chicken tractor designs went with, and I might change that in the future. I might go with a slight slope with the roof. A lot of people with chicken tractors around here, in the winter, they actually flip them upside down so that the roof doesn't collapse from any snow weight. I think I might go with a sloped roof. I realize I might have to keep it clear. This has held up well over the 10 years with the roof being the way it is. I haven't been out here cleaning the snow off, and this winter in particular, we've got quite a bit of snow. The roof itself was designed to flip open on one side, allowing me access to change the waters and provide feed as well. I did like that aspect of the design. I didn't have to open the door. I could just open the top and take the water out and then put it back down when I was done. So that worked well. My skills at the time weren't that fantastic, so it's rough. It did the job, and a lot of times, that's what you look for. So actually accessed on this side, and it's in a state of disrepair. And I don't want to collapse now. But it basically flipped up like that and allowed me access to where I had the waterer. And I usually had a feeder clipped right on the front, and I would be able to access that from here as well. So I did like that aspect of the design, that I could change the waterer just by lifting up and then set it back down. And I also had a door on the front where I could open things up and go in and get the birds as needed. This actually had ducks and not chickens, and so I didn't need to worry about collecting any eggs. The ducks only seemed to lay you know, sporadically during the fall and spring, so that wasn't really a big issue. This tractor still has a lot of usable hardware, so at the next video I will actually I guess go from an autopsy to a dissection and take apart and take off what's useful, and we'll get rid of the rest. And then we'll take a look at maybe redesigning a new chicken tractor with lessons learned from the previous mistakes. That's it. Thanks for watching.